Today we're focusing on a lead and follow for creating a super snappy tango. So tango is quite reliable. We know every figure is either going to end with this closed finished, an open finish, or promenade position. And my suggestion today, I'm going to have for the leads and the follows, I'll show this with partner, solo, I'll show it as both lead and follow. And what we're going to add here at the end of every single position is a hip slam with the lead's left hip. So, for example, if I were doing a progressive link in bronze and slam, instead of what I tend to see is, and we're in promenade. So there's zero lead with the top. It is 100% from here, and I'm screwing my feet into the floor. You've maybe heard of that as foot pressure, but. So I'm going to show bad, don't do this, bad idea, instead, and smack. Okay, and I'm going to show from the front as well, and then I'm going to show this with a partner. And smack, smack. Okay, and now I'm going to show that with a follow. I want to show in a couple different figures, but I feel this is the easiest figure to show. Okay, so this is the good one. And hip, hip, hip. This is going to lead her head to flick. As a matter of fact, when you see a head switch in there, he's not switching the head, he's just giving her a hit and hit. Okay, so it's all from here. And the lead's head is very stable. Another suggestion, Amelia, would you mind grabbing that tennis ball for me? To resist the temptation to lead it with the head, he's not really flicking the head. He's gonna be real stationary, and she will recoil off of you. So once you get this hip slam, as lead, my head is out to my ball, and slam. Instead of, this is the bad one, don't do this one, and slam. Don't do that. It's very hard for me to follow. I'm going to do it. I mean, Amelia's doing it because she's an experienced follow and knows what's coming next, but ideally, she's going to look a lot cooler and feel what the heck's going on. And hip ball. Okay, so she's doing the crazy. I'm just pretty much solid, okay? And now I'm going to show with Amelia with a couple different patterns, but it's going to be the same ending no matter what I do. Whether I'm in closed, whether I'm in open finish, whether I'm in promenade. I'm always thinking hip slam, tennis. Okay, so we'll let's show it a twist turn, and I'm going to show going into the camera, and hopefully you can see I'm doing all the good stuff. So we're in promenade. I got my tennis ball. I got my hip, not arms, hip, tennis, twist turn. 2, 3, 4, 5, and hip and ball. Instead of arm, hip and ball. Now I'm going to show going down line this way, same principle, but thank you for Amelia's patience. Thank you all my models. They never know exactly what I'm going to do. So, 2, 3, hip, and hip. And if you're a more advanced level dancer, you might add even more of a jive tuck turn feel where you go and hip. But most people, it's enough just to go hip. So let me show that as a follow. I'll show the same figures. And follows, I'm going to do the same thing with my hip. What we tend to do is want to follow up here because that's where his big parts are, but I really want to follow way down here. And so I'll show that in a progressive length, which is the first figure we looked at today. So, and what we tend to do is here. So the foot is cattywampus, it looks very slow. What I want to do instead, this is going to be the good one, and hip. So this hip is up to my partner at all times. Anytime I finish a figure, I'm going to slam this into him. What's the worst case scenario? You slam too hard, you end up with a tango flick. And as lady, generally there's a lot of rotation in tango. I want to over rotate anyway. It looks cooler. It just looks more like exciting and choppy in a good way. And so let me show from one more angle. This will be a progressive link. Actually, a couple more angles. Hip. You see when I do the hip this way, this foot's this way. Here, instead of here. You can't feel that. Another little trick I use as follow is I feed this thigh up under him in promenade. And feed him the thigh. Okay, now I'm going to show that as a follow. Okay, so we'll just do progressive length, slow, and up, hip, thigh, hip, thigh. Okay, we'll show that again. And we'll go 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 5. Instead of, we tend to do this. He's gonna think, he's gonna be real reluctant to go if he can't feel you. If I give him a hip, he has 0.1 connection. If I give him a knee, that upper thigh, now he gets 2 connection points, so he knows I'm ready to rumble. And he's going to be way less likely to take you with him and let you propel yourself, which inevitably is cooler and faster, right? He can either pull a sack of potatoes around, or you can be your own sack of potatoes and whip yourself around. It's going to be a lot lighter on him and look faster. And I'm going to show now on a twist turn. So just same concept though. Whatever we do, we're going to end with that hip in him. Can I give that to you? Okay. So we'll do a twist turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and hip, knee, and out. Okay, and we'll show one more angle this way. Hip, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and hip, thigh. So not hip, thigh, but thigh, hip. Now he knows I'm ready to rumble. Okay, so every time you finish any figure in tango, we're gonna have a little connection, and both of us will focus on slamming that hip into your partner.